if you look at some of the great sporting moments, particularly when you see a player score, I don't know, the Garnacho overhead kick or whatever, at the moment that that is happening, you can see his body language. He's kind of completely relaxed.
Yes,
and that
yes.
relaxation allows him to just do what comes naturally. It's the same with the vision of when you've got a great player like Messi, and actually seeing Messi now in the MLS playing for Inter Miami is a real treat because he's got that little bit of extra time.
Yeah.
And he's got time, therefore, to look around. You see him, he's so relaxed, he can pick out a pass. And if you're in that state of mind where you feel relaxed, that you're not playing with any kind of fear, and then you can really express yourself. And I think that's what's been happening with the England Test team, you know. It's great to watch.
It is great to watch.
Well, I think the clip that you guys sent us over of Ronaldo scoring back in 2009 against Porto, prime example of that for me.
Yeah.
That's from about 35 yards out.
Yeah. You can tell that nobody was expecting it because they didn't have any cameras on him, really. It's only about 2 shots they've got of that goal because it was so out of the blue. Really, probably even more than 35. It was more kind of 40 yards out. Nobody would think to shoot from that distance.
And it seems to be getting faster as it hits the net.
Yeah.
I've never seen anyone leather a ball like that.
Yeah. Miles was out filming with Cristiano Ronaldo a couple of weeks ago. You know, Miles is doing great. He's got.
So what's his stuff
cool
called?
Job.
Expired Film Club. That's his.
So I didn't know that. So having booked you guys to come on the show, I didn't know that Miles was Expired Film Club until I explored a little bit deeper, and I was like, shit, I follow him anyway. I like his stuff. It's really funny I love when stuff like that happens in life, where you go, oh no, I like him anyway. That's brilliant. His stuff's fantastic on that world as well as this. So he has like film stock and cameras that are no longer in general use, and he goes to sporting events and takes these amazing photographs on old film using old cameras of sport.
Yes.
I adore it. It's amazing.
I think one of the best examples of that, he was invited to go to Sweden to take photographs of a Gothenburg football team. I can't remember the name of it now, that was celebrating their centenary. And they'd recreated the original kit that they played in 100 years ago, or at least a modern version of it. And what they wanted to do, they wanted to replicate the team photo from 100 years ago. And they, knowing that Miles, this is one of his specialities, that he could go over. So he took a 127-year-old camera. So you got one chance at this. So he took a shot of the centenary kit on a 100-year-old camera, and the team then were able to put them side by side. And he got one chance at it because this camera only had this one.
Beautiful.
And he got it. And that was really, I think it was at that moment that when people saw that, they began to go, wow, we get it. We understand what he's doing. It's amazing how but he's been learning. Learning is even the wrong word. He's absorbed all these skills through, years and years of us being in the studio together, him being out with me. Miles and I have done a lot of projects and things together, and it just has, I don't know, it's just kind of soaked into him. And now he's able to turn his hand to anything creative. Now he's getting so busy, it's more difficult for me because I've always been able to say, oh, Miles, could you give me a hand with like setting this up?
Yeah.
Like, for example, Miles was over here yesterday I've got a little communication box here, which he got up and running for me, plugged in my iPad and did all this, made sure my headphones...
and sort his stuff out.
Got my mic here, look. And it was all set up by Miles. So I don't quite have the access to him that I used to have. And there are certain times when I really need him because he's been my right-hand person through all these years,
Yeah.
So.
What a great relationship. As a dad with a son that I spend as much time as I can with him because he's 14 and he's grown up quickly. And it must be a real treat for you to get to spend so much time with your son, and to have a son who wants to spend time with his dad.
Yes, that's the thing, isn't it? And I've got a big family, I have to say. I've got 8 kids altogether.
That's big.
My eldest
Bloody
daughter.
hell.
You were busy in the 70s.
How on earth were you kicking a little football around the house? I was coming at it from the context of having 3 kids and thinking, I want to go to sleep now.
Yeah.
You get
I've
8
got-
bloody kids.
You did say earlier, Bob, you had no protection in the 70s.
No, my eldest daughter, Miri, is nearly 54. She's born on the same day, same year as Zoe Ball, actually. 23rd of November, 1970. And then Emily, then my daughter, Charlie, then Ben and Jamie, and now Miles, Dylan and Flo. And Miles, Dylan and Flo are all in the music industry in one way or another. Well, Miles is going more to sport now, but Dylan is A&R manager at Peer Music. And Flo works at Big Machine. She's label coordinator at Big Machine. So, yeah.
And also, I suppose as well, if your dad is Bob Harris, there's nothing. There isn't a mental obstacle to you having a cool job, because I think for Mike and Steph and I, when we were growing up, I'm sure it was the same for you because you grew up in Northampton. I didn't know anyone in the music industry, and I didn't know
That's
anyone
right.
who was in films, and so it seems impossible then.
Yes.
But if you have people like this in your life, then suddenly you think, well, I am able to do this. I just need to work
It just
out what
seems
I'm
more
good
normal,
at.
doesn't it?
And it just seems normal, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is a great gift, I think. To
And I haven't stepped in to influence their pathway in any way. I didn't think that would be right, because all of them have got their own independent lives, and they want to feel that they're making their own way 100%, you know. So I didn't make any kind of allowance, like, for example, with Miles, Dylan and Flo, who are all in the music industry, let's say. I didn't step forward and talk to people, or I just let them find their own way. Yes, of course, I offered advice and steered them a little bit, but I didn't actively. And it's the same with my older children as well. Particularly, Miri and Ems are both in health. Miri works for the NHS. Emily works with underprivileged children and families. Charlie has a fashion business. Ben and Jamie are both, well, Ben is a fantastic chef. So they've all found their own way. And I'm so proud of all of them. And as a family, as 8 kids together, we all get on great. I mean, really, it is quite amazing how that has worked. So, you know, we get together as much as we possibly can. Miri's coming down here with her. My granddaughter, Olivia, was a very prem baby. She was born only 25 weeks and 4 days, I think. She was really, and she had a very difficult first few months. But now she's a massive football fan. She's 16 years old, and she's part of the England FA CP training structure. And her ambition is to play for the England CP team. And she's heading in that. It's fantastic what she's doing. Brilliant. I'm so proud of her. And she was born at pretty much the same time as I was diagnosed with prostate cancer. And I saw our survival. Her fight for life was so inspirational to me. Yeah. And I just felt that somehow we established a bond between us, even then, so which is so strong today. And she's amazing. I absolutely love her so much.
I love Bob so much.
I love Bob too. I think I'd still have found it a bit odd, the guy downstairs smoking weed and kicking a football around the house, but I'd love for you to have brought me up.
Well, they didn't know about the weed at that point.
No, I think they did, Bob. I think they did.